Well, we've talked about finding the arc measure, but now we're going to work on finding the arc length. And the length is the distance between the two endpoints. And in this case, we're looking at AB. And it's the length expressed in linear units. Now, we know that the circumference of a circle is the measure of the distance around the circle. And the circumference, we know we can find by 2 pi r. And we use an r instead of diameter because the sides of our central angle are radii of the circle. Now, that's going to lead us to a ratio. That means that AB is, we could express as a ratio that the length of the arc is a ratio over 2 pi r. Now, there's 360 degrees in a triangle, and the measure of the central angle equals the arc measure, and so we can set this up as a proportion of L over 2 pi r over, let's say, x. X is the central angle over 360. And then we can further describe that as, if we want to find just the length, it equals 2 pi r times x, or the central angle, over 360. And then we can use that to find the length in linear units of the arc. So here on the right, we have a central angle of 45. We have a radius of 3 centimeters. And so let's just plug this into our formula and let's find the length of AB. So the length is going to equal 2 pi, and our radius is 3 centimeters, times, let's do it like this, times 45 for the central angle, divided by 360. And we're going to put this into the calculator. So let's see here. I got 2 times pi times the radius, 3, times the central angle, 45, and we're going to divide that by 360, and we're going to round this up, to the nearest hundredth is what it says. And so the length of our arc is 2.36, and I can't forget my unit of measurements, centimeters. Well, that was so much fun, I'd like to do one more. All right, so here I got a circle, and I'm looking to find again the measure of arc AB, and here's AB right here. I'm trying to find the measure of that in linear units, and I've got a diameter here of 14 meters. Well, if the diameter is 14 meters, then that would mean that the radius is 7 meters, half that amount. And so I've got the information I need to set up in my formula. So the length of arc AB is equal to 2 pi times the radius, which is 7, times the measure of the central angle, which is 80, over 360. And let's discover what our length is. And again, I'm going to multiply 2 times pi times the radius, 7 meters, times the measure of the central angle, and we're going to divide that by 360, and we're going to round this to the nearest hundredth, and it would come to 9.77, and my unit of measurement is meters. Now, if that wasn't enough fun, and I just really want to do one more, I'm going to do one more, do one more, do one more. Well, what do we got this time? Well, I got a radius of 8 feet, I got a central angle of 120. And I got my handy dandy little formula that the length of the arc in linear units is equal to 2 pi times the radius, 8, times the measure of the central angle, 120, over 360. And so then the length is going to be 2 pi times the radius of 8 times the central angle of 120, divided by 360, the total measure of degrees in a circle. We're going to round this to the nearest hundredth, and it is 16.76. And what is my unit of measurements? Well, Shazam, it is in feet. What kind of mindset do you have? Do you have a fixed mindset, or do you have a growth mindset? Go with the growth mindset. You can do it. All of you can do it.